let's begin the chapter. What do you guys say? Hi guys, I see a star, I see a watch, I see some Legos, I see a bag, I see a cap, I see a football, I see a basketball, I see a paint bucket, I see some balloons, I see some volleyball, I see a drum kit, I see a world map, I see some paper clips, I see some bag, I see some pencil, I see a watch again, I see a trolley bag. There are so many things, right? There are so many things, isn't it? So many things are here, isn't it? Guys, do you all see it? Yes. So there are materials, or these can be known as objects. These are, we can call them either objects or materials. Can we not? Can we not? Can we not? We can, right? So these all the things can be called as materials or objects. So anything that we see, I can see this. I can see this banner. I can touch it. I can feel that okay, this banner is right here, right? I can feel and touch it. So you know what? This is an object too. I can hold this, I can see it, I can touch it, and I can feel it. This is an object too. This pen right in my head, I can see it, I can feel it. This is an object. So is my specs. These are objects. But air, do I see air? Do I feel air? Can I touch air? I don't think so. So air is not an object, but these things are object. Okay, these things are object. Now, every object is made of certain material, right? Mirror or the table, these are all made up of some material. What is the material that it is made up of? Your mirror is made up of glass. Your table is made up of wood. The bed is made up of wood. Or, the window panes are made up of wood. The windows are made up of glass. This is made up of some synthetic material, right? It's a banner, isn't it? So everything is made up of some material. You know what? Material refer to the matter from which the object is made. The material which we are referring to. Plastic is the matter with which this object is made up of. Did we get it? Did we get it? This bottle is made up of plastic. Plastic is the matter with which this object is made up of. Am I clear? Now, if we need to make spectacles, if I want to make spectacles, what am I going to use? I'm going to use some glass here. These are glasses. I'm going to use some wood or plastic, right, to make the frame out of it, don't I? And my spectacle is ready. And my spectacle is ready. I can do that, right? I can do that, isn't it? Isn't it? I can do that. Now, guys, moving on. Understanding objects and materials help us to analyze why a certain object is made with certain material. We always have to understand objects. Understanding the objects and materials, they help us to analyze why a certain object is made with a certain material. For example, you know that I cannot make a glass to drink water. I cannot make a glass out of cloth, right? Because if I make a glass with cloth, all the water will come down, right? There is no point making a glass out of cloth. But I can make a glass with a plastic, with glass, or with how does this thing look? How does this thing look? What is the color? What is the texture? Like when you touch it, how does it feel? Does it feel soft or does it feel hard? How does it feel? You gotta take a look at it. Sometimes what happens, some materials are really shiny and some materials are dull, right? For example, metals such as iron, copper, gold, aluminium, these are all shiny. But take a look at wood. Take a look at this material. Is it shiny? Nah, this is not shiny. Yeah, this is not as shiny as metals. Am I clear? So you have to take a look at the appearance. Some materials are non-lustrous. That means not shiny. Okay, they are not shiny and they are dull. They are dull. We also can look at the hardness and smoothness. Some materials like how much ever you try, they are really, really, really hard and you can never bend them because they're really hard. But some materials are really smooth. Some materials are so smooth that you can just compress them like cotton ball. If you have cotton, you can just squeeze them, right? They're so smooth and soft, isn't it? Isn't it? For example, a teddy bear, like, you can cuddle them up. They're so sweet and so cute and so soft, right? Isn't it? So sponge, cotton, these are some things that are smooth, okay? Whereas metals and wood, They are metals and wood. They are metals and wood are hard. Am I clear, guys? Am I clear? Metals and wood are hard. Okay? Alright, guys. So, can you see what is hard and what is soft? Do you guys see it? What is hard and what is soft? You can see it, right? So, metals, stones, spoon, or buildings, these are hard. Whereas soft toys, rubber bands, pillows, sponges, these are all soft materials. Am I correct? Now, talking about what are the things have we learned? You know that we have learned some things about sorting materials into groups, haven't we? Haven't we? We have. What are the things? We have learned about materials and objects, and we have learned about properties of materials, appearance, how do they look like? Are the materials hard or the materials are soft? We've read about that. We have read if they are soluble in water. That means जैसे कि if you take some sugar and if you put it in water and you shake it properly, what happens? It gets dissolved, and that means that it is soluble in water. Flotation in water. Some materials can just float around in the water, and some materials can sink deep down into water, all right? And after that, we're also going to talk about transparent, translucent, and opaque materials. So, if salt and sugar, are they soluble in water? Yes, they are. What about sand though? What about sand? Do you think that sand gets mixed up with water? Absolutely. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Does sand get vanished in water? No, right? So sand is not soluble, but sugar and salt are definitely soluble. Let's do an activity. Let's do an activity. Let's take like 4-5 glasses of water. 4-5 glasses of water, and in each one of them, in the first one, let's add some salt. In the second one, let's add some sugar. In the third one, let's add some sand. In the fourth one, let's add some chalk powder. And then we just mix them up, okay? Let's stir all of them. Let's just stir all of them. And we will see that some of the materials disappear in water. You can't see them again. कुछ ऐसे भी चीजें होती है जो बिल्कुल गायब हो जाते, जिनको आप देख ही नहीं पाओगे पानी में, है ना? जो डिसअपियर हो जाते, जो वैनिश हो जाते हैं. So what are the soluble substances? Those substances which disappear. जो चीजें गायब हो जाती है पानी के साथ मिलाने पे, those objects or those substances which disappear when they are mixed in water is called soluble substances. Salt in water is soluble. Sugar in water is soluble, all right? But chalk powder, sawdust, sand, these things are insoluble substances. They are not soluble. They do not disappear into water. They remain in the water how much ever you try to dissolve them. So guys, those things which disappear, they are known as soluble substances, and those which do not disappear, they are known as insoluble. Let's move on. Do you understand flotation का क्या मतलब होता है? कुछ चीजें तैरती रहती है, कुछ चीजें पानी के ऊपर तैरती रहती है ना? आप लोगों ने देखा होगा, you might have seen प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स या फिर वुडन लॉग, है ना, लकड़ी का एक टुकड़ा. Wooden log might be just floating around and like it's just there. Pencil या फिर cork जो होता है, cork जो होता है, ये सारी चीजें float करती है, तैरती रहती है. They are just floating around on the water. And you know that some materials sink in water. Whenever something that is heavy, it sinks in the water, and something that is lighter is floating around in the water. Can you see it? When something is heavy, something that has less density, it will be floating around. Something that has more density, it will sink. All right? Some things are transparent, some things are translucent, and some things are opaque. Let's find it out. Transparent objects क्या होती है? For example, guys. For example, let's say that if I wear my glasses. Can you all see my eyes? Can you all see my eyes? Can you all see my eyes? Can you see my eyes? Everybody, can you all see my eyes? You all can see my eyes, right? So this right here is transparent. Something through which light can pass light can go through it, that's known as transparent. That's known as transparent. Now take a look at this. Can you see my eyes absolutely clearly? Can you see my eyes absolutely clearly? No, right? You can see me, but not very clearly. That's known as translucent. That's known as translucent. And finally, something through which, for example, let's say that this, can you see my eyes now? You cannot. You cannot see my eyes. So this is opaque. This is opaque. Something through which you cannot see the other side, that's known as opaque. Something through which you can see but you cannot see clearly, that's known as translucent. And something through which you can see clearly, that is known as transparent. All right. So opaque does not allow light to pass. Translucent allows light to pass, but not all of it. And transparent can easily allow all the light to pass through it. All right.